Hello Blender folks, this is Gnomes. Welcome back. Here we go again for another of these miscellaneous things and something cool that I found out. This will, in this time I'll just make this one and this one. I'll try to make, I have already an idea what I'm gonna do, and this will be relatively fast. And then if possible I will be able to address something else from this list. And so let's get going with this. So, but before, let me show you something I found out. Actually, this is a trick that I already knew, but it was not present. You see that I can, as I rotate this thing around the character, the head of the character, it aligns with some point of reference there, right? And this is happening because of this, actually this could be tracked to the middle of the head bone. Yes, that's it. So now it's more centralized than this or this. Okay, so this is a track to bone constraint. And yes, this bone is carrying these minor bones, and so this is fine. And then that's just what you need to do. If I didn't have this bone constraint, as I move this, you see the rig still works, but there is this lack of reference, and this is kind of cool, right? Much better. And then I found out, so track to bone constraint here, world space, all those things, of course, track axis. Well, I've not got into detail. This bone is on this y-axis here, so this will be the positive y-axis. Track on the positive y-axis. After rise, it gets inverse, and up z-axis for that bone, which is here, just as the global. And then, yes, that's it. No big mystery, but if we're not familiar with this can be a bit complicated to set up. And of course the whole rig here, ice track rig, is a bit more complicated than whatever. This is UV warp modifier, by the way. It's not, these are not eyeballs, they are eye surface mesh objects, and there is a UV map with the texture of the eyes, that which can be procedural texture or image texture, that is like moving, sliding on top of that surface, and it's controlled by the tiny bones and whatever. I have a tutorial for that, and there are other tutorials about this UV warp modifier, how to use it on eyes characters, right? But I made a tutorial last year because this is a very important topic for 3D cartoon characters and perhaps some others, and there wasn't clear enough tutorials, or not enough tutorials available on the domain, whatever. So what I happened to occur, which is a fortunate finding just after I finished the last transmission today, is that I discovered that I could use track 2, the same strategy here, to these bones. So what happens with this is that you remember, well, maybe you don't remember because it's the first time you're maybe not, probably you didn't watch the other lives I was doing, and I was having this problem here that I needed some manual rotation of this thing. But with this new finding for this particular rig, I can use this track to bone constraint, so the master bone here automatically rotates. Of course, here there's a copy rotation, which I'm not sure, for the foot, master foot, which I'm not sure I'm sustained, because it creates some additional problems when I try to rotate the foot when the leg is far behind. But then this is very, very valuable, because now this is automated. You see, this bone automatically rotates. It's taking currently the reference of the hips bone, you see here, and the torso bone, because it moves the hips, it will also move that. So I'm not sure if the hips, this location of the hips bone here, is really the best point of reference, but the fact it is centralized in this sort of center of gravity, and even though it it makes the bone points downwards, in this case this could be, I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but I'd prefer if it was not, if it was not. So perhaps I had a bone that mimics this position of this one, but below, that would serve as a better track to target, right? But for now this is very, very satisfying, because I don't have any more to rotate this bone in order to have the the pole targets follow it and get these automatic the control rig and is much more sophisticated right now, even though there are some adjustments that I might need to check, right? But now this is wholesome. Before the other leg, it's like that, is much more complicated. Oh, this is the still got the and I'm leaving like that for now because I haven't completed this thing. So this is very cool. And then because I found this alternative with track to bone constraint, probably I could make some minor changes here, but this was a great improvement. Okay, let's go back to the main topic here, which is let me get some countdown timer here. Maybe I prefer perhaps something like 20 minutes to give me a better notion of time. And so this bone and this bone, this one, I'll make a custom shape. That's it. So we'll start with this one. And for these ones, however, I'm not sure that I'm gonna use the same method because for example, I could use just some sort of circular shape here, and this will be very simple, right? So I'll try. Let's see if what we can do out of that, because I want to simplify this process. And for the limbs like that, it's far away from the center of the body. I think it's really not required to use the advanced technique, the advanced method that I was doing, not advanced but different method. So let's go and see where are those objects. Okay, original here, custom shape. So what I need, this bone actually has no custom shape, so I have to create something else. I will use as a starting point the hand. So I'll use this one. So this one I've made here indeed. Let me use some navigation. Okay, and then currently it's upside down, but that's how I've made it. Doesn't matter. Let's duplicate that one. Let's rename it like custom shape forearm. Actually, this is some IK target. I don't know. Arm. Let's call arm. And no left and right, doesn't matter. 0, 5, yes. Okay, then we can hide the hand. Now this is movable. This is not the one that I would like to move accidentally. Okay, let's start here. So the idea here will be the following. Let's first see if everything is applied here. Yes, everything is applied, and apparently this is already on the center, right? Let's do some, in this case it's okay to apply all, set origin to 3D cursor, and just to make sure everything is clear here, all transforms. Okay, now I get the shape that I want to do. First I'll make a mirror modifier, so I don't want these faces. I will add a mirror modifier to the other side, exactly that. And I leave this one like that so I can see what I'm doing. Then let's get some proportional editing, and let's start, okay, and clipping as well. So my idea here would be to make some sort of bracers, like as if this thing has some pointy on one way, but it will be like how do you say, not shrink wrapping, but nearly surrounding the limb of the arm, or in the case it will be around the forearm. So I'm not sure exactly what is the reference for the size, right? Scaling reference here. This is why this is, so I'm gonna do it blindly. But because it's a so simple shape, and because this is a custom shape, I can just rescale it later on with the custom shape panel. So no, because this is relatively simple, it it won't be very dramatical, right? So, and here I would like to improve. I think this is a much simpler case than the others. So the proportional editing here is not very nice, and so this could be something like that. Let's get this thing some smoothness here. Yes, these ones I'd like to have some, no, not like that. Let's slide this, and this one, something like that. So, and these could go a little more like that. And let's see, what about this? Yeah, cool shape, right? Let's see about the proportional editing, how things are going if I use it just a little here. This, maybe I need to do something here. Yes, so this might require a bit more rounded, like imagining how these shapes would work. This seems to be too high, so sort of, let's see how this is looking. So far it's nearly done. I think this, what about this? Like this or like this? Why not like this? Okay. And then what about this one? Something like that. Less pointy maybe. Here maybe more to the center. Let's smooth this out. And yeah, this shape is not looking good enough from these angles. Let's make some smoothing out here. Rescale. Let's see again. Now it's cool. Yes. Alright. I like this one. I could add some more details, but that's it. I'm very satisfied with this one. Maybe it's not following too much the shape of the arm, but this bone particularly will get lots of the way it is done currently. It will take, so I'm not satisfied with this thing, but with the the orientations, but this is, I have been doing like that to make it easier for the placement, right? So that is peculiar to the relation between the rig and that thing. So because I'm using the other mat. So let's go back to the, actually first let me lock everything here, then let's find the armature object here, and let's use this bone here to get it changed. It currently doesn't hold any custom shape, so it would be custom 05. It is arm, and so here it is. It's yes, so its location currently. Okay, if it is, so I can probably rotate it. Oh, actually it's all rotate all around, right? So if I get about these things, all right. So let's derotate this thing, because for some reason differently from the hand, now this got this situation. So rotate. No, I'll do it from this point of view, right? So rotation, Y, and 180 degrees. Where is the screencast? Here. And then also I want the other rotation on its z-axis also 180 degrees, and this should be enough. Then its origin, should I keep it somewhere like that? Yes, let's do that. And then apply rotations, apply rotation, and that should be it. Now let's go back, let's see how it looks. Yes, now it is more or less how I wanted it. So this one is pretty easy. So there is an advantage to do like that, right? To work like that, but and for this case, because it's just a limb, I find it easier. Let's adjust here. I could do it blindly and it was pretty easy, right? For this kind of shape, whatever, wherever I put this, it will look good, something like that. Well, now I'll have some, let's see, how does it, okay, so it sometimes get it displacement because it has a bone constraint which is tilting, is dumped track to the head of this bone. Is that correct? Yes, and for some reason, of course, as I move it away, in this case, I need to move it. So anyways, with this dumped track, unless if I did to the tail, it would have lesser, yeah, it will have lesser transform, but it will still be moving around away from the center of the arm. So I don't know how to, actually this dumped track, is it really necessary? Let's, yeah, if I don't get it, I have this kind of thing. So maybe I could use some limit distance. Let's see, how would I use that? It just has a track 2 and anything else. No, it's free to move, right? But it's a different limb, it's a different system. It's similar, but it's not totally equivalent. So let's see here. What can I, well, I'm not trying to fix this. I just want to see if the shape is more or less adequate to the arm. So what would I could use this like to be in the place of the elbow, so I could call it elbow custom shape, right? It actually could fit, not exactly that shape, but for now I believe that this is a good idea. This rotation does nothing actually, but it could do. Does it got any other rotation? Looks like it's one of them is locked, of course, is because of the dumped track on the y-axis, but yeah, so I can only rotate this on its own y-axis, and that's fine for now at least. Yeah, so it got some tilting, so this is not very beautiful to see, this tilt, so but I don't know how to solve it. So let's just adjust the custom shapes and then let's go to something else, to the last one, right? And then I would do different. I'm experimenting, right, to see what would be better. So I had made these changes already, correct? Let's give some more simple numbers here, rounded numbers, right? And rotation, I could try something like that. No, not that. Maybe here. Actually, no. But no, certainly not this. Okay, it's rotating on its own. So this is not. Then I have to reset these ones. My idea here, what if I get it to the back of it's already on the back of the forearm. But what if I made it there, right, on the side? I'm not sure. Let's ignore this for now. Currently, most of the time I have been using it this way. So let's augment. Yes, what I wanted to do, I wanted to augment this the scale on the y-axis, not too much because it will be bizarre. Just perhaps, yeah, actually it doesn't do a lot of things. What about this scaling? On y-axis, on x-axis is bad, and reducing is bad also because of the, yeah, for many reasons it's not good. I prefer like that. And then this on the z-axis, yeah, this makes it interesting, but then it will like interpenetrate the mesh, so more chances of interpenetrations. So not, let's just this one, let's get it a bit extended, and that it is. So the hand, the other, and of course now before I go to the last custom shape that I want, there was something here I wanted to try out, because I already have this bone that I've made all these leg rig improvements on many attempts, on many iterations, right, on these live streamings also lately, and there's a long time I don't touch this rig because it's mostly working well. The problem with the legs, the rig of the legs was much more complicated because of many features of the leg rig which the arm doesn't require, or so for many reasons. So I left this for a long time without any changes, and now I want to know if see if I can apply some knowledge that I've learned from this to this. So for example, this rig still uses mechanism bone for the pole target. Like this is parted offset to a mechanism bone. This mechanism bone, which does nothing, is just a spatial reference for this thing, but because there is this parenting, as this bone follows the rig, let's see, yes, you see it here, what it does, at least to my experience, it helps to track down and this bone is not parented to the arm rig, otherwise it would create a dependency loop, right, dependency cycle. So it needs to be parented to something else, and this something else, this is very old something else, mechanical spine 03. I'm not even sure this is the, yes, it's not even the updated one after I've done the, so this is the correct one. Hope this doesn't break the rig, but shouldn't make much difference anyway. So you see what is happening there, right? The mechanism bone is following close, like it's glued, because it got some how to say, copy location, right, to the tail of the deformed arm bone. So it's like an extension, right? And then this, on most occasions, it is valuable to get this, although very close to the elbow mesh region. It gets usually the proper positioning, automation for the elbow pole target. So this was very difficult for, and in this case, both the deformed bones for the arm that I use key bone constraint, they are targeting the same pole target. So just demonstrate this pole target. No, not copy transforms. I mean key bone constraint for the arm here. Control pole elbow left, which is that one. and this one control pole elbow left, the same one. So this works very well, or it seems to work in a very simple way for the arm rig with the double I key bone constraint, so double chain. But it's not the same thing for the leg rig when I have 10. So I want to simplify this. Let's see if I can, because there are things that still are failing here on this rig, and I'll have to remake at some point some details, but it works like more than 85%. So it's actually a pretty good rig. Not pretty good, it's a good, interesting rig at least. And I want the rest positions. Actually, I found the best rest position, which is the arms up instead of like that. Okay, 20 minutes gone first though. So let's more 20 minutes, and here what I want to do is too many bones showing. Let's hide all these things. Okay, what was it that I was gonna do? Sorry, just forgot what I was talking about. Yes, okay, I need to compare these things. So there's a track 2 to some bone of the middle of the body, because this thing refers to the thigh bone. It is the rig for the thigh, the IK rig for the thigh, even though in this case it's showing behind the thigh, but that's its purpose. And this is for the arm, the humerus bone here, and this is for the forearm, right? Only one chain length for each of them. So the idea is that this bone could be following with this dumped tract instead of following the hand as I did here. I'll not use this. I'll make this look like an, first I'll save. Yes, let's save, and let's make this will be our backup. So we'll make a new save here, 17, and let me just change, this will be backup. Let's go back to here, and now what I want to do here is to give a track 2 bone constraint this, but to some bone that would be in the center. This one could be a good reference. Yes, okay, tracking to its head. So track 2 bone constraint. This we can hide for now. Then to the head or to the tail? To the head. Then, of course, in this case, we would like to reset these things. And I have to make some major change because it was not prepared for this new positioning. Maybe I'll need lots of... Well, first let me just fix the bone constraint. Then we see what we do on the for the custom shape. So it's, yes, it is the head of this bone, and it needs to use the Y axis, but which one? Yeah, apparently the negative Y. Wait, and pointing up Z, and I need to enable it. So that would be it. Okay, it is that's it. That's what I wanted. And now yes, word space, target Z. I don't really know about this. What about this? No, this is the inverse. It is exactly this. This is just fine. Let's leave it as 0, like to the center of the spine, whatever, that the head of that bone, which is here. So now I need to adjust its custom shape, some aspects here. Let's reset the position first. Let's give it a rotation of, no, it's a Y rotation certainly, so positive perhaps, no, a negative 90. Okay, and then let's move it back on the negative x-axis. Translation, yes, because now I never used these gizmos. Now they are very useful. So something like that, and then something, the height, it could be on y-axis negative, a bit more to, yes, I don't want it to be exactly at the, like here, I want to be more like at the end of the arm, somewhere like here. And then for the other, for the Z, it would be positive, just like that. So it looks like some armor thing, right? And for the rotation, it doesn't, let's see what these things do. No, this is not interesting. And also this is, are they the same thing? Strange, I don't understand, but here, no, let's leave it at negative 90. Now let's see what happens when I pose the arm on this thing. Okay, so we see that this seems more logical, right? It sounds more stable, right? Even though I like the idea to pick the forearm, actually this seems more logical and intuitive. Well, intuitive, post-intuitive. It becomes more intuitive as we start posing, right? And the hand, yes, the hand is certainly not in the best position. I even want to make some changes here for some, no, not reset, only reset to single default value. Okay, maybe I'll pull that back. No, just not that much, something like that. Okay, and that's it. I like this new customization. I'm not sure if it'll hold properly for all the posing, but we'll see. Currently it looks like a good setup, and the problem is that I cannot rotate it on the Y. What if, now this is dangerous, but what if I tracked it to the let's save this because this is good. If to the arm bone itself. The cool thing here is that now I can use, because of the positioning of this bone, well, actually not, because this is something I need to revise. What is the relation of this? Okay, it is using the same, it is sharing the same starting position. It's not the same for the other, so these starting positions are really not necessary, right? So you see how old is this rig, right? So this is not, I was doing this because this rest position is the same as the pose position. Now the rest position is the same as the rest pose, although we need to take off the the custom shapes in order to verify this here. So yes, it is changed because of the bone constraint, but you see it's starting at the same place. And if I take this off temporarily, here we go. So alright, I'll give preference to this one, and this I'll probably delete at some point because it's much stabler, right, as I speak, as I already said. Then the cool thing on these rigs, on this new approach that I didn't figure out previously, is that I can use this same strategy. Because this bone has indeed this sort of stability, I can use it as a mapper for the target, pole target, right? So what was the strategy before? Is that the bone here, the master bone, this IK controller, right? It is in front of the joint, so the front of the joint, the back of the joint, the front of the joint, the back of the joint of the elbow, right? So okay, this is similar. There are different limbs, but it's the same logic should apply. I need to get it. This bone actually should be could be inversed, right? So I'm not sure right now. Let's see what happens if let's try something here. Wait, something is, no, this is the wrong bone. This is the correct bone. I could scale it. I could move it in the other direction, for example. Let's see what happens if I move it along its normal on y-axis. Okay, this is very bad because it's a poser bone, right? So I cannot do that. And of course, if I rotated it, like, let's do a normal, rotate Z, all that. Okay, we see nothing changed because what matters is the starting position of it, and anyways it gets aligned. So this is why if I had the head here, I can then scale in this way. Now I'm not sure about the alignment of this. These master bones, they are aligned to the global, so I could do that, but then the problem is that it has a custom shape. The global alignment isn't really interesting, right? So I could get them, maybe I should align with, the question is, should it be aligned with this, with this? Well, let's try differently this time. It won't change anything because again it's like that, but I'm concerned about this positioning now, because then this elbow would be here. Okay, let's try. I don't think this will be a good idea. Let's see if we, yes. Of course it is too dangerous to have it here, so it kind of needed to be, oh, it's yeah, so we could do differently, but I like the idea that this thing is aligned with that bone for facility of the custom shape. So what I could do from this is to keep this row or this alignment and just rotate on z-axis like that, so it would match alignments here with the arm bone, but it will just go 90 degrees. Is this correct? Can I align this in terms of roll? Yes, they look like they are aligned. I'm not sure, but let's see. Yes, sounds neat. So it's like a floor, right? And then I pick this one, I give it to this, and I think I can delete this mechanism bone here, no more necessary. And this is, what did I parent this to? And what about this? Well, this has, it varies. I could just parent it to here to simplify in this case. And let's see. Oh, there's this problem now. Let's go back and activate the shapes. Yeah, it's too close. But let's see if that works. Or how much does that work? Yes, easily destroyed. So this positioning, yeah, so this alignment is dangerous, caused by the track to bone constraint. But if I don't have it, it's miserable, right? Let's try something else. So let's assume we have the alignment, so it's facing like that. This will force this bone to rotate altogether, and yes, it limits the possibilities I have. What if I just did that? So it gets backward. I could even go to the other side. This is crazy. Maybe even more. Yeah, the farther it goes, the more complicated it may become to map it in certain ways. So I cannot rotate this. Okay, so apparently so far it's more or less stable. Okay. Of course, there would be much more tests to do, right? But like rotate the whole body, maybe something breaks, I don't know. On other orientations, certain features of the rig can fail. This normal thing is not helping. What this hand is constrained to? It looks like, oh, it has some limit distance to the other bone, that's right. And it has a limit scale. Now this is for something else. So okay, probably that bone constraint was a previous setup that I need to revise. I was testing the elbow joint, so you see how far we can go with this thing. And in principle, it looks like this strategy is mostly working. Okay, it's quite satisfactory. I think I can keep this. I just need some perhaps limit location on that, because going too far, like, it's not required. How will I fix that? Limit location in relation to what? I don't even know if this has some, never used that. Let's see, limit location, or it could be, okay, so let's see, it will be a normal, or it's the Y, so negative, it doesn't, negative location, let's see, negative y, and so no, I cannot, doesn't seem to do nothing here. Strange. Local space. Now I still can move this thing. And don't understand minimum, maximum. I can do anything with this bone. Maybe it's the wrong axis. Doesn't make sense to me. Now it seems that it was locked. So I was looking at the wrong axis and I don't know which one it was. Z-axis apparently. No. X-axis. Okay, so not that, it wouldn't be moving otherwise. And x-axis here, yes, I can't move it to either way. Why it is behaving like that? Because its x-axis is like that. Okay, it is, it was tilted due to the transforms. Okay, bone constraint transforms. So let's see. Does it mean this bone could start that way? Well, no, because doing this I'm making it a choice that is not even aligned with why it has this. Okay, it's tilted into any ways, that doesn't matter right now, but it is working, that's what matters. So let's see. Okay, 20 minutes have gone again. Let's do more 20 minutes so that I can finish this and then finally complete the custom shape for the other part, and then we're done with custom shapes for what is imperative in my point of view for this character, this project. So this rigging project, so let's see what I was doing. Yes, limit location. So minimum, what's the minimum? Minimum will be that direction, so maybe just, I don't know, in terms of spatial distance. Okay, apparently it doesn't go further than that, so let's see, as close as it starts. This is strange. This is not affect transforms. Okay, this seems to help. Otherwise this is very bad thing occurs. Okay, local space seems fine. I don't think this is enough. We need more distance here. Looks like okay, let's now augment here. Maybe that's too much. Let's try one. Why it seems sliding all the way? It's just an impression. Let's see if I limit a lot. Okay, it just goes there. Here let's diminish even more. And here, so of course here I'm just moving this bone and not, it does feel like it is locking in space. It's a bit annoying, so I'm not really convinced this is a good strategy, this limit thing. But concerning the displacement of the bones, it's kind of cool to maintain things in order, so it's not that bad. I think it is It's an OK control rig alternative, right? How would I do it otherwise? Because you see, I can move the arm mostly. If I take this off, I have lots of freedom, but to do what, right? It doesn't... I can do... We did the same movement, it just doesn't disrupt the... Wait. Sometimes it disrupts. Okay, so sometimes it still can disrupt, so not -1, maybe it's too much, 1 meter, and it keeps going. So what if I lock everything at 0 and just keep that? This should be... Yeah, no, this is the worst thing. Okay, what's happening is I was indeed displacing the other axis, and of course I need to move this around, but not maybe... Yeah, how far, that is a problem. So that's why maybe instead of limit location, a good one would be limit something like shrink wrap, but inside, and we could use, for example, the forearm itself, right? This as a target. So let's do it different. Let's make this and shrink wrap inside, and align to normal. Not sure, it didn't respect. Okay, let's get... Where is the armature? Why I can't... It's a shrink wrap bone constraint. It looks like it's not valid, but it should be. Armature not valid. Maybe something I don't get here. Strange, or were I looking for another? No, maybe that's it. Maybe I just got some wrong idea about this bone constraint. So let's see, anything else? Pivot, follow cover, child off, locked, track, spline, no. Okay, so then limit location, there should be some wider motion, like, I don't know, -1, -1, 1, and 1 meter. This is a lot, but let's see if it's enough for the posing. Now it gets kind of locked in so many ways, it is impossible to pose this thing at ease. So maybe it requires something like 3, 3, -3, and only the X is required to... Let's try it now, and let's hide this and also hide this. Let's see how... Yeah, at some point it got locked, and it's bizarre, but at least it gives some controlling. Here, of course, the hand should move, so this limitation seems okay. We can tweak that and improve to be more natural. This sounds good. I like, and this could actually use this copy location perhaps too. I will investigate. I never used that. Now I'm starting to understand how this works. Okay, folks, let's make this for the other side. So symmetrize this thing, symmetrize this. Actually, no, this was the wrong one. Currently they have to cross like that. It's strange. Wait, I've destroyed something here. What happened? So symmetrized. Symmetrized. Okay, now it's good. And I think there is nothing. Is there anything else? Oh, this one I have a, no, this is limit distance. I'm not using it for now. Limit scale is for something about the fingers. A long time I don't touch it. So let's go. Finally, let's go. This took some time, but it was interesting, and I've learned some new tricks. So very worthwhile. I hope you can get some ideas from that too. Hold on, let me check here. Okay, then let's see here for the custom shape of this. So I'm gonna do more or less the same thing as this. I could even reuse this same shape, but I'll make a, yeah, why not? Let's make a duplicate of that. Actually, I mean, let's just reuse this shape, right, for here, and maybe I just adjust some other things. So let's go directly to its custom shape, and then we got CTM05 arm, which actually more than arm this time if I use this way. I don't want this thing. I said I'm not using this as default anymore. I think it gives more precision to the work. Only exceptionally will I use that. And then here what I need to do is to adjust its scale. So let's make this something like that. This one I want to be larger than the other one because it's the leg, and the leg is usually has more mass than the volume than the arm. I could, yeah, since I could just make it lengthier even more, and that's about it. Maybe it's too much right now. Make it thinner. Yes, so every value here is larger than the other one, so that's good for me, like reasonable. And now rotations. Do we make some rotations here? Yes, it's kinda, it should have some for these kind of posings. Let's make some negative rotation here, and of course we want to have this thing going up, and let's see what is its original positioning. Alright, so we see that it's not aligned very well. I don't know exactly how could I fix this, but let's, okay, so this is that distance here, just 0.6 should be fine. Yes, really kind of close to the thigh. That looks good. Maybe just a little further away. Now maybe this tilting will be good. Let's see, we need to test on many. Here it's already, see, it needs compensation. then, and as it rotates here, it needs compensation on the other side. So this is because of how the rig was. This is very hard, I think, if I don't have a special solution for that. So, but this rotation is unlikely for the leg, like very behind, while this is more likely. So let's see. This is prioritary. So negative angle. Although here negative, and of course I want also to have it shouldn't be going like here, it should be somewhere like here. Same for the right and the rest pose, but of course I got it wrong. So -2, this sounds okay. Negative 2.2, and then here I'll have to augment this because as I move that it gets okay. So maybe this means we need further up. All right, more no, this one could be like on that angle, maybe a little slightly more. Okay, then I see here what is this. I think this is not necessary. Well, maybe it can help, but very slightly, to solve the generic orientation. And then this tilting again, the X, no, not the X, the Z would be something like that. And the X, this is very important too. Yes, now it is mostly aligned, and of course the knee gets all this aligned that way because the foot matters, or actually I need still to have some, where is the pole target that is I need to revise after this bone constraint that I found out, the track 2. So alright, so far this is now it's too far away. I was on a pose thing, so let's redo here, and that will be it. Something like that. And then there is the limit location, right, that I could use. Yes, let's add the limit location since it's a new practice, and this will be limit location. Now this time I will be prepared. It is sliding on its y-axis on local space, so limit minimum could be, did I got it wrong once again? Apparently I got it wrong once again. I can never figure out this properly. Let's try the X. No, doesn't lock. It should be the Z then. Yeah, it locks. Okay, so for this one is the Z, so negative. Now I can go down. The going down is not really the most important thing. Going up, but not that far, somewhere like up, I mean this. Okay, so problem is I don't see. Oh yes, let's use these affect transforms and let's see. It has some limitations. It should. Is this global? No, it's local. What is the local space? Z is up. Oh, I see. This local is problematic because then it is using this local all the time. It's not the local as it moves, as it's being posed. Because that's what it seems, right? So see, as I cannot move at certain point up because the maximum, and this is not affect transforms, right? Yeah, it's something else. So this will be the case where I should use the local space of something moving, but I don't know if this thing exists. Anyways, it is sliding like that because of the... So this is not exactly doing what I wanted. Now I'm confused. I don't know how this could be solved. It would not be word space. Certainly not. Local pair, that won't change anything because if the local space use that, it will just use the starting of another. So I didn't have that in mind, so maybe we can't achieve. Maybe that's why I was having some mysterious things happening there to the other one. And so maybe this is not a good idea. So let's delete it. And instead of this, let's see if I can get... Okay, so this concludes 1 hour, and let me give probably less than 20 minutes, but to just find a last alternative to this. So I'm probably not gonna use this because I've just found that apparently there's some critical limitation to what I intended to do originally with this bound constraint. So let's see if I get a better idea. Stretch to no, dump track no. It's not tracking. It will be, yes, this idea, the limit distance could be a good idea, although not the ideal thing because it already has got the dumped track. If I give it a limit distance like to another bone near the spine, right, for example, why not this one? But I have another bone which might be more precise in this sense, which is, well, it could be that one. There's also a bendy bone that is here, is the closest bone to this one, so I could use this as a reference because its tail, it's right connected to this. So let's try this out. Limit distance targeting this bone here, and we'll put this target here, and it's inside. No, it's outside. Oh, I was confusing the shrimp crab with limit distance. That's what I wanted to use here. That's why I was thinking about this outside, inside. I got confused. So alright, so limit distance, local space and probably owner orientation. Now I have no idea what's happening right now. Tail and outside, and let's keep this is the normal distance. If I reset, this is the... But it is allowing me to get close to the bone. This is wrong. Something is failing here. Maybe I should keep... Okay, so this is not working. Let's augment the... should not allow this movement inside, maybe. No. Affect transforms, I don't know. Now it is locked into this region. Okay, that kind of works, but it gives some difficulty in the motion. So it's not, it's like a sphere of a sphere of created from the tail of the bendy bone, where this bone can move. But and the sphere outside, yes, it would be more complicated, right? So the sphere outside means I just want some very minimum something lesser than this, right? Something like that. And then I can't get this bone closer. I shouldn't, but I'm having this event, so affect transforms. Maybe target world space. No. Still owner world space. No. Okay, so that too doesn't seem to work. Only inside seems. I'm probably missing something. Let's give some reset distance. Maybe it's bugging out because they are parented. Let's go back to local spaces. The maximum distance could be, oh, I see, then I cannot move very well. Spatially, it's too constraining. It's bad here, but it's good here, so not really what I require. Target owner space, no. Not quite understanding those right now. Okay, now this is too constrained. I don't know how to use this indeed and was it? Yes, limit distance. So never mind. This is satisfying enough, and I think that's it for this journey today, folks. 3 tutorials, maybe even 4, I don't know, but quite lengthy ones, but this was a lot of achievements for this project and some new understanding of certain features on custom shapes. And yeah, I'm satisfied. I think I can go past now. I can check that thing out from the list. This is a great time to do it. Let's get this and let's push this to the lower stack list of achieved things, and there we go. One last thing to do. There are all these that shouldn't be as hard, and then many other things. We have things here for the face rig. We have things. Yeah, let me show that before we end here. This might be interesting. in case you're interested in rigging, right? Organic rigging, rigging characters especially. Uh, this is why we want some add-ons, right? Some automation, because it's a lot of work. You see, all the time I've spent, maybe I'm just too slow, right? Even though I have experience already in Blender and in rigging, my workflow is kind of slow, right? And so let's go, at least for now, I think it is slow. So we have here, oh, you're not seeing, sorry. I need to make change to the priority in OBS Studio. Now you'll be able to see. So many things I was showing was wrong, right? You were not able to see. Sorry about that. I'll need to double check this thing next times. Okay, so here is the things that I'm gonna do next. Those are relatively simple things. Then there's a hand mesh topology, some things I want to improve. There are bendy bones for, work that I want to do on joints, ankle, shoulder, anywhere there is some joint that I think can benefit from this. And there are the arm twisting features, the limb twisting feature actually, for many, especially for the forearm. I think it's cool, but I probably, if I manage to, if it works well with bendy bone for it, I already tested it works, but it sometimes can cause some bendiness on the whole limb, and it's a bit difficult to solve. Recheck best new Vitruvian rest pose. Yes, this is something very cool that I want to make. All this in a single like in a single day, something like that. I want to mash up these things, testing out many to see what is the best for the deforms, and I already have an experience with that, so I'm just making some last tests. Then okay, this is another section, complete types. This is complex joint rigging. So I have a great plan for this. I never tried out, and I know it used the wave mix modifier, I think that's the name. It's with armature deform, and shoulder rig, same thing, I'll attempt. So these are very advanced rigging things, but I'm gonna do this soon probably. I know how to solve them mostly. This is a heel, removable heel, high heel boots that I need that I need to recover. It's a cool feature I want to. After I've made change to foot rig, it got lost. That this is, let's accelerate this. This is facial features that I need to improve. Mouth rig with bendy bones, all this very cool stuff. Some people, some friends or artists I'm talking with, they are experimenting a lot and they're achieving great results with this, so it's a great method. Some control, advanced control, not advanced, some cool features for hand and foot, toes, rig cage. This is an idea a professional rigger gave on his Philo Vivero. Actually, he has a YouTube channel. He creates rigged models of beautiful stylized characters, and he has plenty of cool ideas with rigger. He sells his models of female girls, and surface deform modifier. Yes, this is stuff I need to check out. Never use them. Limb twisting. Okay, this is repetition that I need to adjust here. And the cool thing is that these days, after I started streaming, I've started to accelerate this list, which okay, then let's see, we're almost finishing. That's wiggle bones. I have already tested, it works. I just need to develop that. Skirt wiggle bone is I need a new version here of wiggle 2. I was already on wiggle 2 add-on, but a new iteration of the version. I want to retest this and see if it got improved. I wasn't able to make this skirt rig. I'm very bad at physics in Blender for the time being. Ponytail, okay, then this is wiggle bones for the hair, and I'll start with the ponytail. There, I need to finish the hair modeling. It takes a lot of time. I'm not experienced enough with that. I struggle with the conceptual how to better solve this. It's difficult for me. Sharp edges, what is this? Oh yeah, some adjustment on the mesh, character design, and then costume modeling, UV texture, and camera keys, automorph or auto lattice, how I would call it, for 3D character adaptation. Right, as the camera changes the angle in relation to the face, the proper face deforms in. So there's an long feature films I've watched recently, by the way. So don't even remember the name, but it used something like that, and yeah. So that's it. That's all I have to do. It's not that much, but it's a lot of work, and I'll be showcasing all this process, I hope, in those never-ending transmission. And once I finish this, I can do something with that character finally, like a portfolio and use for projects, right? Okay. Thanks for watching, folks. Happy blending and have a nice weekend. Maybe I'll be here again on the weekend. Have a nice ending of day or beginning of the day, depending on where your time zone is. See ya, folks.